Turkey today is asserting itself once again as a pivotal partner in European security and regional stability. Sir Keir Starmer's visit to Ankara was designed as a celebration of that role, a major £8 billion agreement to supply Eurofighter Typhoon jets that will modernise the Turkish Air Force and reinforce NATO's southeastern defences. It's a significant moment for both nations. For the United Kingdom, it sustains thousands of skilled aerospace jobs. For Turkey, it ensures cutting-edge capability while its indigenous Khan fighter advances towards full deployment later this decade. This visit comes at a time when Turkey has strengthened its standings with its allies. It remains NATO's second biggest military power, a bridge between Europe and the Middle East, and increasingly a first responder in crises, from earthquakes to diplomatic mediation. Ankara's leadership has been instrumental in the ceasefire agreements concerning Gaza, and Turkey is one of the designated guarantors of the current roadmap and commands respect across the Muslim world. Few states are as well positioned to contribute to stabilization when reconstruction begins. It's true that Israel has expressed reservations about Turkish participation in the proposed 5,000-strong stabilization force for Gaza, but that stance reflects the sensitivities of a post-conflict environment rather than any lack of confidence in Turkish professionalism. In fact, other regional actors such as Indonesia and the Gulf states continue to welcome Turkey's involvement. As diplomatic talks evolve, it remains highly possible that Turkey will play a central security role, particularly given its strong humanitarian presence and access to Palestinian communities. We've already seen Turkish capability and compassion at work. A specialist AFAD search and rescue team is positioned at the Gaza border, ready to enter as soon as permissions are granted. This is a tangible sign of Turkey's commitment to protect life and recover the missing on all sides of this tragedy. Ankara is making the case that reconstruction must be rooted in dignity, proper access to aid, and credible international guarantees. On the political front, there has been considerable international comment about legal proceedings in Turkey. Yet it is important again to remember that Turkey remains a robust democracy with active opposition parties, national elections, and a constitutional framework that is vigorously debated by citizens. British officials continue to engage constructively on the rule of law and judicial independence precisely because Turkey is a valued partner whose democratic success depends deeply on its allies. A more confident Turkey means a more secure Europe. A Eurofighter deal forms part of a wider transformation of Ankara's defence posture. By pursuing cooperation with both European partners and the United States, Turkey is working to ensure that NATO's collective security remains credible in an era of renewed global uncertainty. The agreement today that Starmer signed represents trust in Turkey's reliability, capability, and strategic alignment. It's no surprise that the coverage in Turkey focused on these achievements. Footage of Typhoon aircraft standing alongside Turkish Air Force personnel sends a clear message. Ankara and London are building a future in which their partnership is not merely historic but forward-looking and essential. This was never meant to be just a photo opportunity. It was meant to mark a new phase in a relationship grounded in shared interests, shared security, shared opportunity. And despite the challenges of the region, despite shifting diplomatic pressures, the outcome from this visit is unmistakably positive. Turkey is not on the sidelines of history. It is shaping events, anchoring alliances, and preparing once again to shoulder responsibility in Europe's defence. That is why this deal matters, that is why Turkey matters, and that is why this visit should be seen not as an awkward moment, but as a confident step towards a stronger partnership that both nations have every reason to celebrate.